Welcome back to the Southern Scene. Recently we sat down with motivational speaker and author Lynn Anderson and talking all about her message, Know Before You Go, all about safety when you're doing that hotel traveling. If you're on a business trip or just traveling alone, she's providing a wonderful message across the country to keep you safe. And now we're going to continue to take a look at that issue and give you some more of those wonderful safety tips.
I tell you, if we go back to room 939, the night that I was sexually assaulted, I remember when I got that hotel room, they booked me at the end of the corridor, and it was actually a very spacious room, and I remember thinking, I love this room. I'm at the end. Don't I have the most beautiful view of Atlanta? But I was also vulnerable at the end of the hallway.
And you didn't realize you were in a very vulnerable situation.
No. So I tell women today, when they check into hotels, if they are given a room at the end of the hallway, go back down to the front desk and request another room. You need to be near the elevator. Hotels have the emergency staircases, and they're always at the end of the hallway. And that person, if a perpetrator comes in and robs you or does something else to you, he is not going to go to the elevator, push the button, wait, and then get on the elevator with other hotel guests who can later identify him.
So request the room closest to the elevator. Stay and try to request those floors 2 through 7.
Yes.
So once you get off that elevator and you're walking to your room, now we're on the floor, we're walking to our room. Now what happens when we're heading? Your safety doesn't stop there.
No, and actually the safety doesn't stop in the elevator either. You know, elevators can be tricky. And what I tell women to do is, like, say if you're at a lobby and you're standing there with a man and he is a stranger, and you get on the lobby and get on the elevator together, you want him to push the button first. And then when you're standing in that elevator, make sure that you don't stand in front of him where he's behind you and you can't see him. Position yourself over near where the buttons are so that in case of an emergency, you can hit the emergency button or hit another floor to get off. And I always tell women too that if they get that feeling
that something's not right,
and you know it, we feel it, I just say get creative, and you make up an excuse not to get on that elevator with that man. Just say, oh, I forgot my cell phone, and you just get off that elevator if you have to.
I've been in those positions where I've traveled before that you do get those uneasy feelings. And typically, if you do have, I think there is a such thing as intuition.
There is.
And if you do get an uneasy feeling, there's typically a reason for that.
Yes, and so listen to it and think through what you're doing. And then, when you get off that elevator and you come to your room, the first thing you want to do is you want to check out your room. You can't assume that room is vacant. You want to look in 3 places. First, you want to look at the shower, open up the shower and make sure no one's behind that shower curtain. Secondly, you want to look into the closet, make sure the closet's empty. And third, you want to look under the beds. Some beds, have the boxes now, but some beds still are vacant, empty under. Double check that you're alone in the room. And then when you exit your room at night, put your lights on. Keep a radio or TV on. You don't want people to know that someone's not in the room and that the room's vacant.
And the hotel door is quite important also when you walk in that room and every time you exit the room.
When you come in as a woman traveler and you're going to be in your room for a while, you're going to safety latch and deadbolt the door. But when you're talking about coming in and going to get ice and such, you just don't want to put that safety latch over. It makes no sense, but a lot of people do that. But again, I think it's because we let our guards down, and a businesswoman traveler or a woman traveling with her family alone without the husband should never accept an adjoining room. And on adjoining doors, there's only one lock. There's not the safety latch. It's a different locking system. So why, as a woman, would we be in an adjoining room if we don't have to be?
What about some other tips that we don't want to forget?
I really have talked to a lot of managers of hotels, and this recommendation is that you really shouldn't take the emergency staircase. It's an area that's often secluded at the end of the hallway, and it's just safer to take the elevator down. You know, a lot of times we'll lose our key card out by a pool, or we'll misplace it, and it might be that you have multiple people in your party staying in a hotel. This is the thing, we all need to rekey the door if somebody loses their key, because that key is floating out there somewhere. And you know, we need to just take the time, and it's a pain, and it's an inconvenience, but we need to take the time to rekey all the keys so that you are sure that no one can just pick up that key and go through the hotel and try to find that room that it fits.
Thank you so much, Jenny Lynn, for joining us here on the Southern Scene. I know our viewers have been very moved by your story, as I have, and I'm so blessed, and I know that we're all blessed to have you with us with your wonderful message that you're spreading across the country.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Natalie.
If you'd like more information on Jenny Lynn Anderson and her message, Know Before You Go, all you have to do is go to the website you see on your screen. Don't go away. We'll be back with more of the Southern Scene right after this.